Just waiting for it to connect, guys. Hey, what's up? It's Josh with the Get Business Credit YouTube channel. Is it working now, you guys? I think we still got lag. Looks like we still have some lag. Let me see here. Yeah, I think we still have lag. Anyways, welcome to the Get Business Credit YouTube channel. I'm sorry if it lags. I just need to fix my computer, add some RAM. So I apologize if my lips don't match up to my voice. I apologize for that. I'm gonna get it corrected. So just bear with me if it's not matching up on what I'm saying. So I apologize again for that. I'm not so technical. I'm technical on business credit, but not on computer hardware. So sorry about that. I promise I'm working on it, and the next one or two live casts, it'll get better. But I can see there's a little bit of a lag. Hey, so who's with us today? New World Oil Tank Removal. Thanks for joining in. I appreciate it. And Gail Jones is back with us again. Thanks. Let's just wait and see if there's anybody else, because I want to make sure, give a chance for other people to join. So let's just give a few minutes here and see other people joining, because I know some other people said they were going to be joining. So let's just give a few minutes, but I'm here to answer any of your building business credit YouTube channel needs, as far as how you build business credit, what you need to do. I'm here for you. Just let me know any questions that you may have. So let's just give it a few minutes, okay, guys? Appreciate your patience. Sorry, I had to take a drink there. So, New World Oil Tank Removal. Have any business building questions on building business credit? Do you have any? Gail Jones, how about you? Do you have any questions as well? Sorry, I'm just monitoring things to make sure everything's coming through okay. Who's with us now? We got 5 viewers right now. Who's with us? Put a chat in the message box below so I can answer your questions. What's a good score to have starting a business? So we have, sorry, there's dogs in the background barking. So with Dun and Bradstreet, you want to be over 80 Paydex score. That's what creditors look for. I shouldn't say creditors, but when you're applying for business credit, you want to have over an 80 Paydex score. You can't get over 80 Paydex score until you get 4 trade lines reporting with Dun and Bradstreet. It used to be 3. They recently changed it, so now it's 4. So you need 4 payment experiences with 4 separate trade line vendors before you're going to generate a Paydex score. Paydex score goes from 0 to 100. Obviously, as it sounds, 100 being the best. So, say you have Uline, Quill, Schutze, and Global Industrial Supply, say for instance. Say they're all reporting that you're paying on time on your net 30. That's only going to generate you a Paydex score of 80 to 82. How you get above, like in that threshold, is you really need to pay 7 days early. That's a good credit gem to point out that I didn't really point out before. You're not going to get the Paydex score of like 86 I say 86 is the magic number. Anything above 86 with Dun and Bradstreet is really the key score with Dun and Bradstreet. It's the most used, and that's the score you want to shoot for. Is 86 or higher. I know 99% of all videos out there in Facebook, YouTube, they're gonna say 80 is good with Dun and Bradstreet. Yes, it's good, but we're shooting for more than just good. So how do you achieve above 80 Paydex score? Because if you have like 10 trade lines reporting with Dun and Bradstreet and you just pay them on time, you're still likely going to be about 80 to 84 Paydex score. How do you get above that 80? So how you get above that 80 is paying your invoices early. This question has been asked over and over on almost all my videos that I've put out in the past 2 months. And that's, when do you pay your net 30 invoice? Do you pay it exactly on time? If it's due on, say, February 2nd or February 5th, do you pay it on the due date or a day early? When do you pay it? Best practices is to pay it 5 to 7 days early, because when you pay it early, it's going to be reported to Dun & Bradstreet as you pay early. That's going to give you a little bit of a boost with Dun & Bradstreet scoring model with the Paydex score. So you're going to get if you do that enough with your vendor trade lines, especially your tier ones, if you do that enough, and it doesn't take like many months to do that. You do that with, say, 3 or 4 of your trade lines. You pay them a week early. You're going to show, when Uline or Quill reports to Dun & Bradstreet, it's going to show that you pay early. So they're going to show that when you're paying early, it's going to boost your score a couple points. That's where you're going to get into the 86, 87 threshold. But also the score matters also on the credit limit. So you need a higher credit limit as well, reporting, or how much utilization that you used. And I know it gets complex, and I don't want you guys to overthink how complex it is. Just start with just your vendor, your tier 1 vendor trade lines. Pay them a week early. Start with that. And then go into the tier 2. Do the same thing. I promise you, you'll be over 80 Paydex score. You'll be in like 85, 86, 87. So that's to answer your question, Gail Jones, for Dun & Bradstreet. But then there's Experian, and it's the same model as well. Pay early. Don't pay too early, because as soon as you get an invoice issued, you don't want to pay it, because if you pay it instantly, it's going to show as like a prepaid order, just as if you used a credit card or whatever. So it may not report, or it may not trigger reporting. So you need to give it time for their internal systems, whether it be Uline, Quell, whoever. Give it time to show as an open account, net 30 account. So, like I say, just do it around 5 to 7 days before the due date, and you'll be fine. That's when I say pay it. Don't wait until it's actually due or the day before, because it takes time. We don't know how Uline or Quell or any of the systems work as far as internally as a private company. We don't know how they're sending their data and stuff. So you just rule of thumb, pay it 5 to 7 days early. So same with Equifax and Creditsafe as well. All right, hope that clears that up. And then Oliver, best way to determine when you're ready for tier 2. I would say that's the thing, is there's too many things hung up on when you're ready for tier 2. You have to get these vendors or that vendors. It really comes down to, what is your personal finances or your company finances like? Because you can get tier 2 accounts as long as you're willing to put up, say, a deposit with, say, FleetCor or WEX. And those are great reporting to Dun and Bradstreet and Experian and Small Business Financial Exchange. They may ask you to put up a $200 deposit or no deposit or a $500 deposit. But I would say if you are working on a budget and you don't have the funds to put up deposits just in case they ask, I would say you need to have 3 to 5 trade lines. With Dun and Bradstreet, you need to have 4 to generate the Paydex score. But there is no magic number because every vendor is different. Like I said, I'm probably the only business credit guy out there on YouTube or Facebook that doesn't agree with Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3, Tier 4, Tier 10, Tier 100 like there is. I don't agree with it personally because there really is no Tier 3. There's Tier 1 and Tier 2. Tier 3 is when you basically get to your goal. So you need to have your Tier 1 and your Tier 2. You need to have 10 to 20 of those accounts build up, and then you can go to the Tier 3, as they call it. But there really is no Tier 3. Like, who made that up anyways? But there is no Tier 3 vendors. You can even Google search it, and there's not going to be much talk about Tier 3 vendors. And if there is, it's just somebody that made it up. Tier 3, technically, is like SBA small business loans or your local credit union or bank loans. So don't get caught up too much in the tier stuff. Let's see here what you said here. So, like, what's best to determine when you're ready? Just like I said, but don't get hung up on the tier systems like that people talk about. What you need to focus on is the reporting. Make sure that the vendors that you're going after, getting the net 30 accounts, make sure that they are actually reporting to one of the 3 major credit reporting agencies: Dun and Bradstreet, Experian Commercial, and Equifax. I wouldn't worry too much about Equifax. Denval Edwards here, me and him went back and forth. I'm, helping him a little bit one-on-one, but I'll tell you, he has one of the best Equifax profiles I've ever seen. And I'll tell you that Equifax small business credit report with 9 trade lines, even though not many people pull from them, it's still not going to get you what you want because a lot of businesses don't pull Equifax. They pull Dun and Bradstreet, primarily Dun and Bradstreet and Experian. So those are the 2 that you have to focus on. And it's hard to find vendors that actually report to them. Some say they report, some say they report to a certain bureau, some say they report to all bureaus, and they leave it kind of vague so they don't get in legal troubles. And then you buy their service or their product, and then you're stuck with them reporting to Equifax, and that really doesn't help you. I would say 90% of what our end goal is not getting a high Equifax score because it's not used much. Focus on Experian and Dun and Bradstreet. I can't say that Dun and Bradstreet's better than Experian because there's a certain particular banks and underwriters that actually only pull through Experian. So, I mean, it just kind of depends. So, let's see here. The best no PG ways to get funding with minimum bank activity. Oliver, I mean, it's hard for me to answer because at some point you're going to have to PG. I don't care if you build up $1 million a month in revenue. There really isn't any no PG funding out there unless you've already been in business for 32 years and you have the bank statements. A lot of times we don't have that. So the myth of this no personal guarantee, you have to be all in for yourself as well. So it's either you believe in your business or you don't. So you have to believe in your business that it's going to succeed and make it succeed. Building business credit is only one element. You can minimize your risk. I understand that part. Minimize your risk. And you can do that on certain things. But to think that a company, a bank, or underwriter is just going to give you $300,000 no PG for a year-old business that has great business credit from net 30 vendors, that's crazy. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So you have to believe in your business, and sometimes you have to use the personal guarantee, and not always use your personal guarantee. Sometimes you just need to show that you have good personal credit, because the ones that are doing, say, no PG that you hear out there a lot, they're still going to do a soft pull on your personal credit, the CEO's personal credit, because they want to make sure that you are who you are and there's no fraud going on. But they also want to make sure that it's a way to gauge on their underwriting requirements. Divvy is a good example. They also soft pull your personal credit. They're not doing a hard pull, and they're not making you do a personal guarantee, but they'll give you up to $500,000 in charge card monthly credit line. But they do that to judge the owner of the company if he or she has bad credit score, say late payments, repos and stuff, and then has good business credit. They're still going to look at that. So get your personal credit in shape as well. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, Denval, yeah, you can get to the big guys. You guys give me 1 second real quick. 1 second. I just have to check on my daughter real quick. Give me 1 second. If you guys just can hang tight for just like 20 seconds. Hang on, okay? All right, guys. Sorry about that. Just thought I heard my daughter crying, but she's taking a nap. All right, let me get caught up on this real quick. Let's see here. Walt Troyton. Hope I got your name right here. How often does the Business Credit Bureaus update their records on new accounts? So that can be answered in two ways. So if you're asking how often do they update, say, new businesses, say you just filed last week with Florida Secretary of State, your LLC, or Texas, whatever it may be. What I found, if you don't ask them to create your business profile, credit profile with the agencies, it's 3 to 6 weeks for them to just generate it, or until a vendor actually reports it. That will also trigger the profile created. I just released a video about an hour ago that goes over things that you want to fix, even if you're a brand new business, things you want to fix. So make sure you watch that video. It's super important. I can't tell you. That can literally make you have approval with, say, Divvy or Home Depot or Lowe's commercial account. It can literally, if you don't do what I told you guys to do in that last video, check it out, because it can get you approval for $1,500 if you don't do it. But if you fix the little issues that I said, then it can get you 10,000, 20,000 credit limit. I know that for a fact. So make sure you fix your credit report, because it's not going to be just given, the data is not going to be given to the credit reporting agencies. But if you say, like, how often do they update the credit bureaus on new accounts? I mean, like I said, you could start a LLC a week ago, whatever state, as long as it's formed and listed with the Secretary of State. And then you get a Uline account, and they report. Whenever they report, that's also going to generate Dun's number, a Dun's profile. So there's a lot of moving parts in the back door. So, of course, most of us, when we start our LLC and we want to build business credit, we want to, warp speed. We want everything to go fast. So how you do that is, once you're registered in your state, and you can do a public search in your state with the Secretary of State, and it's public, you want to contact basically Dun and Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax, and get the profile created. You can do that with Dun's and Experian pretty quickly. Dun's, you can do it literally within a day or two. They can generate. If you pay them for the credit builder program, it can literally happen within 24 hours. They have a yearly option for like $1,500 or $2,000, and then they have a monthly that's like $150. Don't do it. I'll make another video about that. It's unnecessary. You can still create it. You just have to upload your documents for manual review. That's all. So check out my other videos about that. But yeah, I would say if you started an LLC, a week ago, you could be with all the bureaus. I would say within 1 to 3 weeks, you could be listed with all of them, as long as you assist the bureaus on pushing your data through. So hope that helps. Let's see here. Gail Jones, great, thanks. Okay. Super Gamer, since my personal credit score is excellent, is it still possible for, I guess, me, to be approved for business credit card and business lines of credit without business credit because of my excellent credit score? Yeah, so you have a very good advantage if you have good FICO score. I would say anything 700, maybe even 680, but I would say FICO 8, you want to be above 700. If you have that already in place, and it's not a new profile, I would say, as far as your personal credit, yeah, you have an advantage, and especially if you're willing to personal guarantee. So the one thing you need to watch out for is, like, you go after Home Depot, Lowe's, Office Max, Staples. There's going to be a thing where it's on the application, it's going to say you're going to agree to the personal guarantee. And if your credit's, personal credit's good, that's fine. They're going to do a hard pull, though, through one of the credit bureaus, and that can ding your personal credit. So, it can drop anywhere from 2 to 5 points per hard inquiry, because if Staples doesn't have any information for your business and your personal guarantee, yeah, you'll get approved. It's just going to be the same as you applied for a personal credit card with whatever company. So, but yeah, that's the ideal way. Just don't go app crazy, because that can hurt you. You go crazy on the apps and you get all these inquiries, that can also hurt a good, personal credit score. So I've taken that approach actually recently, because my FICO scores are 720 to 760 on FICO 8, and then on FICO 9, the newer score, they're closer to the 800s. So I personal guarantee a couple things for my newer businesses, but it definitely speeds things up. But if you don't want to do that, you need to go through all these steps. But I would say it's still wise to, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you have good personal credit or not, you still need to get these trade lines built up. The ideal number for Dun and Bradstreet to get to the third level, and that's like bank financing willing to give you, or fintech companies willing to give you very high limits, is either one, personal guaranteeing it and you have a good FICO score, or two, at least 14 trade lines reporting to Dun and Bradstreet, and at least 11 reporting on Experian. I'm not even going to touch Equifax and Creditsafe because those, I can't give you proper data points because there's not enough large businesses pulling credit from them. So, but yeah, if your personal credit's good, don't go app crazy on PGing. But yeah, I mean, like I said, my last cast, shoot me an email, info@vanhornmarketing.com. Again, that's info@vanhornmarketing.com. I'm happy to help you, no cost, through email, give you a little consultation, let me know what your goal is, and I'll be glad to give you some of my personal advice, especially in a situation like that where you're willing to personal guarantee. So I don't want to say you can skip steps, but you can skip some of the steps and not have to wait as long to build up the good business credit if you have good personal credit. Just like WEX and FleetCor, they're the two major gas cards. So they will do a soft pull usually on your personal credit, even though it's no PG. But if you have good personal credit, they're still going to give you a high limit and approve you if you have good personal credit, even though it's no PG. And they report to Experian, Dun and Bradstreet, and the Small Business Exchange. Those are very good reporting, high limit, that's really going to boost your score. Because you can't just have like 10 accounts, 15 accounts of net 30 trade lines that are reporting just like a credit limit of 100 or 250 or 500. You need to get the 4-digit, and you really need to get at least one 5-digit trade line reporting, like $10,000 or more credit limit reporting to Dun and Bradstreet or Experian to really open those doors up for you. Smith's Empire. Hello, Smith's Empire. I did a $500 deposit for BP MasterCard, no PG, or deposit for Circle K, Universal, Pilot Flying J. Only want to make sure you have a checking account. Yeah, so the BP MasterCard, that's through FleetCor. That's the underwriter, FleetCor. I think it's Regions Bank now, but it's still under FleetCor management. And then no PG or deposit for Circle K, Universal. So if I'm not mistaken, I think Circle K, we don't have too many of those around here in Ohio, but Circle K is part of WEX Bank. So if they gave you no deposit, no PG, then they obviously saw something in your business credit or your personal credit, because you had to supply your social security number to get the gas cards anyways, the fleet cards. So it could have been a soft pull, and there was nothing negative to flag anything, so that's why they offered you that. It's crazy because like what you had happen to you, a lot of people have the opposite, where BP will give the BP MasterCard, you can get a lot of times with no deposit, and then like the WEX branded gas cards, they want the deposit, $500 deposit. So you're probably one of the first ones that said that, because it's usually the opposite. Pilot Flying J, they'll approve anybody. Watch my video about that. I made a couple videos about them. They'll approve anybody right out the door, but they only give you like a net 1-day term. It's really like net 7 days, but it's, you use their card at Flying J locations, say today, they're going to invoice you tomorrow, and that card's not going to work if you don't pay them like within 5 days. It's different for everybody, but it's usually under net 7 days terms until you build up credit with them. I've built up credit with them now. It went from like the net 1 day to net 5 day, net 7, and then net 14 is what they offer. So, but yeah, you're right. Pay your bills on time. Exactly right. Okay, Justin Austin, where to find a business phone number? I can tell you, go through a Mighty Call. I made a video about this. Check out my video. I made a video about virtual business address, who to go through, and who to go through for a business phone number that you can have forwarded and get in the 401 directory, so everything's legit. I'd appreciate if you use my affiliate link. It helps, support the channel and everything. So check out that video. If you don't know, just shoot me an email at info@vanhornmarketing.com, and I'll be glad to help you and send those links over to you. But yeah, Mighty Call for sure is the one to go through for that. That's who I use and I've used for the last 2 years. So they give you a toll-free number and a local number for less than $30 a month. Smith's Empire. How long does credit inquiry last on your Experian sucks with inquiry? Are you talking Experian Business, or are you talking Experian Personal? If you're talking Experian Business, it doesn't really, inquiries really don't affect business credit as much as they do on the personal side, and they don't really affect the score algorithm with any of the bureaus on the business side. It's alarming if you're applying for 15, if your credit's getting pulled 15 times, your business credit's getting pulled 15 times in 1 month with Experian. That can be alarming, because other vendors that pull, they can kind of see that, but it doesn't affect your score at all. But as far as your personal credit goes, no, honestly, if it's a inquiry that you didn't authorize, just like I've told in my past video about the BP MasterCard, nowhere on the application says that you have to personal guarantee, and nowhere does it say that they're going to pull your credit. But sometimes they do pull your personal credit. You can dispute that. Call the Experian number up, and you can get that removed same day. You didn't authorize. You don't need to involve too much information to the Experian rep. You just tell them you didn't authorize it. You don't know anything about it. You didn't authorize it. There's no fraud committing at all. Nowhere in the BP application does it say that they're going to pull your credit. It says to verify identity. But sometimes it seems like recently they're pulling people's credit. Some people they're pulling, doing a soft pull. Some people they're doing a hard pull. So, yeah. Denville Edwards, do you have to order every month from vendors? No, you really don't. I mean, I would say you have a Uline account. Order like 2 or 3 times a year. That's it. But when you're talking like, say, Crown Office Supplies, some of those lower ones that you have to pay to kind of get into, no, 1 or 2 times max, and that's it. Just leave them alone. They're just starter vendors. But like Uline and Quill, you want to keep those payment experiences going. So, yeah, you want to order. You don't need to order month after month. So that's a myth that I can bust right now. You do not need to order every month for them to report. Of course, they're only going to report when you have open account with them, when you owe and stuff. But it doesn't help or hurt your business credit if you're ordering every month or you're ordering every 4 months or every 5 months. It's still going to be the same thing. It's still going to result on when you pay. The most important thing is paying early, like I said. Okay, so hope that clarifies things. Walt Troyton. Yeah, so how often do they update? Well, it depends. There's some that only update quarterly, and there's some that update every month and every week. So it depends. Like a company like Uline and Quill, they do updates weekly. With their data, they're uploading it with like their Mass 90 or Sage software. They're uploading that, and if you're in that queue, it's going to be uploaded into, say, Dun and Bradstreet's database, and then Dun and Bradstreet also has to take that data and put it into your profile. So it's not just one thing where Uline or Quill is reporting it to Dun and Bradstreet. Dun and Bradstreet system also has to take that information. So it's like sending and receiving an email. It's the same thing. You send an email, and then you copy. Once you receive that email, you copy that data and then input it into the person's business profile. It's kind of like the same process. No trade line or vendor has access to be able to just report something and it just goes right on your business credit profiles. It gets submitted, and then the credit bureau, the business credit bureaus, take that information and then put it into your profile. So there's no like instant where like Uline can just put something into your business credit profile. That's not how it works. It goes into like a triangle. So yes, so Uline or Quill will send it to Dun and Bradstreet or the Small Business Exchange. It'll go there, and then Dun and Bradstreet or Experian will pull that data and then input it in. So it can take a couple days or even a couple weeks. If they're good about reporting, whatever you ordered today should be within 45 days, should show up on your credit report. But I've seen it be much quicker than that too. It can be a matter of you order today and you pay 3 weeks later. On the fourth week it's going to show up. It just depends on the volume and the data. It's all going through algorithm and servers and stuff. So it's all data. It just takes time. So don't focus too much on that. Focus on just building up those trade lines, but don't focus on trade lines that are iffy if they even report or who they report to. Focus on the ones that really report to Dun & Bradstreet and Experian. Equifax may be, but don't put too much effort into, when they're reporting. But keep an eye on it and do a spreadsheet, a Google Sheet or a spreadsheet, and keep track of, each of your trade lines. And if they're not reporting, say Crown Office Supplies or whoever, if they're not reporting after, say, 45, 60 days after you've paid them, even 30 days after you've paid them, call that company up and say, hey, you guys didn't report, and that's one of the reasons I order merchandise with you guys is, to help build up my business credit. Why aren't you guys reporting? So that's just a little word of advice on that. No, I mean, Smith's Empire, no, you don't have to order one product. I mean, yeah, it's really a dollar amount. Every policy is different with every company, but I try to say like $50 to $75 will kind of trigger. But every company is different in how they report. If you just order like $20 worth through some company, they may not report it at all. There's thresholds that nobody really knows without being in the company itself's policy. Smith Empire, take your time, boss. Yeah, thanks for that, man. Okay. So personal guarantee can't. Okay, City Smith. Personal guarantor. Can you get money ASAP? I mean, if you're willing to do a PG, yeah, you can, as long as you have a credit score. I mean, I think you're going to need at least a minimum 680, but it's better to be in the 700s. But there's plenty of lenders out there and hard money lenders that will be willing to give you funds for startups or whatever, even with no business credit. You just have to personal guarantee it. But it's going to be expensive. You know, you borrow $100,000, you have to pay $100,000 back within, say, 1 year or 2 years. You're going to be paying anywhere from 15 to 25%. But yeah, I mean, if you have personal credit, there's so many ways to leverage your personal credit to leverage your business credit, and I'll get into that in another video. And that's kind of like what I do. It's not what I used to do to build business credit. I did it not having much money, grinding it, hustling, and just getting what I could get, reporting, like probably a lot of viewers, just starting off, just want to be your own boss, and, you don't have $100,000 capital just to play around with. So you can't take those shortcuts and stuff. But once you have, your personal credit build up and it's strong enough FICO score, then yeah, you can leverage your personal credit to fund your business credit and build that business credit up really quick, and then get rid of the personal guarantee, and then you have both. You have your personal and your business credit high limits, and then there's less personal guarantee on your business. But initially you use personal guarantee to get those high limits, and then you got rid of those personal guarantees. So I'll get into that more another time because I don't want to confuse you guys. Let's see here. Like I said, you guys can email me too if you have any individual questions that I'm not covering or something. info@vanhornmarketing.com. That's info at VANHORNMARKING or MARKETING.com. Sorry, I can't spell. What's the normal wait time for DUNS? Kendall Jones. I covered that earlier, but if you just registered your business, say with the Secretary of State, if you wait for them to pick it up through their data aggregators, then I would say 3 to 6 weeks. But if you force it through, like I mentioned in the last video I did about an hour ago, on correcting your business credit profiles, I highly suggest everybody to watch that last video and watch the whole video, because that's super important. It can literally, like I said, make it so you get approved for $1,000 limit or a $20,000 limit. So watch the whole video on correcting your business credit profiles to make sure it's not a thin business credit profile. But I would say you could push it through DUNS. If you already set up your LLC, you could probably push it through in about 7 days. You could have your DUNS number. With current situation, it used to be you could do it back a couple years ago. You could get it in a couple of days. But then in the peak of COVID, back in say June, July, it was up to a couple of weeks. But now they're quicker about it. So I would say about 1 week. Super Gamer, thanks. Yeah, I was pre-approved for all 3 Chase Inc. business credit cards. I was also approved through 100,000 through Seek Capital without business credit. Yeah, I mean, if you have good personal credit, then yeah, I mean, you can take advantage of that. You just have to have confidence in your business and whatever the business plan is. I would just suggest, if you're using your personal credit to leverage and build your business, make sure you have a well thought out business plan and how you're executing your new business. The worst thing you can do is use your personal credit and get funding through your personal guarantee through your credit, because I tell you, you can't go through life with bad credit. You're just not going to get anywhere. It's very tough. I learned the hard way. I'm about 40 years old now, but I had horrible credit even 3 years ago. Even 8 years ago, I was making almost $1 million a year for my marketing business, but I never gave two craps about my personal credit. I never really had bad credit, but I never like gained credit. I never cared about it, you know. So, but what I'll tell you, I've seen a lot of people destroy their life and go through a lot of depression by being so set on their business idea that they think it's going to work, and they have good personal credit, and they use their personal guarantee to fund that business, and they don't take any advice, and then it just kind of goes down the drain. And then not only does their business suffer and go out of business, but then their personal credit is crap, tanked, because they can't afford to take, make the payments and stuff. And then that affects you personally, and we don't want that. We want everybody to be successful. That's all I want, is everybody to be successful. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this channel. I just started this back in, December, so it's only been like 2 months now, and, I'm just trying to help people, and, of course my end goal for this channel is to, monetize it, but I'm not at that stage yet, but I like teaching, and I kind of want to get out of the marketing business, so I enjoy this teaching. So, all right, let's see here. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Super Gamers, shoot me an email, info@vanhornmarketing.com. I'll be glad to help you. Just don't put all your eggs in one basket, I would say, as far as your personal credit goes. Lawrence, yeah, if you're going to sign up with Mighty Call, please use my link. I'll send it to you. Just shoot me an email. I'd really appreciate that. Info@vanhornmarketing.com. I'll shoot you the link. You don't have to. You can go right to their website and sign up if you want, but I really appreciate it. It just shows support, and, they give me a couple bucks for you signing up. But they're also a great service because you can set it up to route the call. They'll give you the 800 number and your local number you pick, and you can kind of pick the digits too, so it's a unique kind of vanity number. And it accepts text, so you can even have it forward, like SMS, verification. You can route it after 3 rings. If you don't pick up, say you have it routed to your cell phone, if you don't pick up after 3 rings, then it goes to another phone number, or it goes to voicemail. You can map it out. It's really, really cool company. I've been with them for a couple years now. So, yeah, shoot me an email. City Smith, love this. You're really helping me out. I'm going to email you from my business email, info@ what is that? Everything Lucrative. Nice name, man. Nice name. I'll look out for it, and I'll definitely get back to you. Hey, that's what I'm here for. I truly care about helping you guys. I'm not trying to sell you guys a course or anything, at least not right now. But I'm honest with everybody. I have no motives. You can see everything that I say. It's unfiltered. You can see all my videos. I don't do cuts, like cut things up. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake, and you hear it, I don't try to go after having a perfect video. I go after trying to give you the correct, perfect information, the best that I know. So, let's see here. If you personal guarantee, should you get Uline and Granger? Don't get Granger. Granger does not report at all anymore. They're getting bad raps right now. They no longer report to anybody. They've made that very clear just recently. So there's no reason to go after Granger. Anyways, Granger's not a good company. They're just bad attitude. I don't want to get sued by them at all, but more than one of our subscribers, including myself, probably a dozen of us, had almost the same exact experience. They're rude, period, and they flat out just said they're not a credit reporting agency. Buy from them if you want, but I would advise against it. It's not going to help you. So, but yeah, I mean, still go after the trade lines. I mean, you still want to get Uline, Quill, and I want to say Shirtsy maybe, Crown. Each of these net 30s have their place depending, and everybody's profiles are different. So they all have their place, and it depends how much cash flow you have to throw at building your business credit on how fast. So if like you have $1,000 to throw out to get fast business credit, then you can go after a list that I could put together for you, and then after say 30 to 90 days, you're going to have strong credit profiles on all three agencies. But you're going to have to spend about $1,000. Not to me, but, Quell, Uline, Sim Office Supply, Strategic Network Solutions, Global Industrial Supply, Shirtsy. You have to go through all these different ones, but each of them report differently. So that's why I said it's really going to cost you about $1,000 if you really want to get like fast, get all these trade lines reporting quickly. And Denval Edwards, I don't know how long he's worked on his because we just started emailing back and forth, but he sent me over his reports, and I'll tell you, he's worked hard on his. I can tell you that. But Denval, we'll catch up later today. I'll shoot you an email back and go from there. But I got Floor and Decor. Do they report? Floor and Decor, I think they do, but I'm not going to tell you 100%. I know they did report, but see, all these companies changed because the way that Dun and Bradstreet and Experian in particular, the bigger they got and the more they report, you have to belong to association to be a data furnisher. So to be a data furnisher with excuse me, with Dun and Bradstreet, like unless you have over like 5,000 net 30 accounts, say your Uline or whatever, you need to have like 5,000 customers to even get Dun and Bradstreet be willing to accept your data, and it's just very costly, so some of the smaller companies can't do that. Experian only requires 300 because I've been in direct contact with them about also offering credit terms for my marketing business to people. But the software that they require you to use, they give you a list of like 5-10 different softwares, but those software licenses through all these different companies cost anywhere from $10,000 to $40,000. So, it's expensive investment if you want to be a reporter. So that's why you'll see a lot of companies reporting with Equifax, because Equifax, you really don't need to have that many customers, and they'll take your data. Or they just take it from the Small Business Financial Exchange. And you can get in there as long as you belong, your legitimate business reporting proper data. Yeah, City Smith, yeah, definitely get your family, friends, have them subscribe. I really appreciate it. My channel growth, I really just started like December 1st, and I've tried to be 100% authentic, honest, and not give any BS. I try to give 100% honest. I'm not gonna put a review out for a company like a lot of these other YouTubers do. You'll see these other ones about credit and stuff, and they're just throwing out all different names of net 30 vendors and business credit cards. They're just doing that to get their views, to get their money from YouTube and stuff. I'm not going to do that. Every video I put out there, I have to ethically and morally be okay with it. So, 20 years from now, 40 years from now, when I'm gone, I don't want my kids or grandkids also to see me, having a bad rap or anything. I'm a straight shooter, and you either like I said the last live chat, you either like my personality or you don't like my personality. I understand some people may have a problem with my speech. I had a stroke. I'm not wanting a pity party, but I had a stroke in 2019, and since then it affected my speech a little bit. So sometimes I get stumbled in my words, but still the same brain though. So, um, but yeah, I'll be always honest with you guys for sure. Kendall Jones, should I call? I applied as a governor contractor. Yeah, so that's another trick. If you applied with like Dun and Bradstreet through the government contractor, that's a speed, like a expedited way to get your DUNS number processed. So that's fine. There's nothing illegal or nothing against doing that. That's 100% fine. You can do that because who's to say that you're not gonna eventually be certified to be able to be ISO 9000 or whatever, to be able to take a bid on a government contract. Nobody can say that but yourself, nor can the government. So it's completely fine to go through the government backdoor way with DUNS. That's fine. Lawrence, that sounds good. Amazing. I'll send you an email. Yeah, thank you, Lawrence. I appreciate that. Definitely, helps. Like I said, I'm not asking for any money through you guys. You guys need any of the services through the companies that I'm talking about. I'm not affiliate or partners with all of them, but some of them I am. So definitely reach out to me and use my links if you haven't already, because it does help. Doesn't help a lot, but it does help. Basically it helps buy gear like this, the microphone, camera, and I have a green screen behind me. All that adds up that I pay out of pocket, to do this. But I definitely love teaching, so I want to keep doing this for sure. I enjoy it. Let's see here. Yeah, Kendall Jones. Just the vendor list. Check out my videos. My videos pretty much show everything, and look at the dates. They're all within the last 8 weeks. But if you look at like the newer ones that were just released like the end of December, right after Christmas, that's pretty updated. But I'll keep making videos sometimes about the same vendors, because I'll update on how they report and who they report, because some of them change, So that's why I want to always keep everything, real with all the subscribers and everything. Some vendors, they'll stop reporting to certain companies. Like I'm investigating right now if Crown Office Place, they used to report to every business credit bureau. But now I'm hearing, and I have accounts with them as well, with 2 of my businesses, but now I'm hearing they're not reporting to Dun and Bradstreet. So I'm going to be making a video about that once I get a definite answer on that. So that should be within the next week or 2, I should say. Let's see here. Yeah, just shoot me an email, you guys, info@vanhornmarketing.com, and let me know like what list or what you need as far as what vendors. But I would suggest watching my videos too, because they give you data points on who reports to who. Don't take shortcuts, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, so it takes time, but you can do it fast. Like literally, like I got $150,000 credit line, no personal guarantee with Divvy, in a matter of 3.5 months from starting my LLC, just one of my LLCs. And at that time, my personal credit was not even a factor, So I just built up a very strong Dun and Bradstreet profile, an Experian profile, So. Yes, Super Gamer and Kendall Jones. Just shoot me an email, but like I said, just watch my videos. Take the time to watch them. I know some of you guys might hate my rambling in my videos. Like, it may be a 15-minute long video, and I could probably say everything that I need to say to get to the point in a matter of 5 minutes, but it carries on for 15 minutes. That's just how I am. It's my style. It's not something I can really help, you know. I tend to ramble and try to talk like personal, you know. I'm not trying to be fake or anything. But yeah, I'm gonna put together a list here soon as well. Like I'll make a video. That was a plan I got on my whiteboard here to make a tier 1 and tier 2 vendor list. But I don't want you guys to wait on me for that. So just shoot me an email and I'll help you out with that, or watch my videos, my past videos as well. City Smith, God bless you. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's hard to find someone like me. I will say there's truth to that, because my skin cringes when I watch 90% of the business credit guys out there on YouTube trying to sell a $3,000 course, or just putting out bad information, bad videos just to get more views, so they're earning more YouTube ad income. I think once you start making your viewers be an income source for you, putting 100% into that, I think you start to lose touch with why you started the channel and the information in the first place. I don't care if I get 100,000 subscribers, I'm still going to be me. I'll still be the same way. I may be a little bit more cocky, but I'm still going to be the same person at 1,000 subscribers, or, you know, 100,000 subscribers. You know, I mean, my channel in 8 weeks grew from basically 0 subscribers to about 1,400 subscribers in 8 weeks, and that's like unheard of in the YouTube world, even for any niche, let alone a micro niche like building business credit. There's not a lot of people, you know, looking to build business credit compared to gaming or anything else. So, you know, it's pretty unheard of to get the subscriber base that I've already got, but I think that comes down to me being authentic and real, you know. So as long as it's working, I'm not going to change, you know, anything. Pamela G, hello from Tampa. Hey, how's it down in Tampa? In Ohio here, it's like a foot of snow. Bad snowstorm. It says, you said, can you do videos on how to use credit based off each tier? I don't really know what you mean by that. Can you do videos on how to use credit based off each tier? I already have videos on each tier based, but how you can leverage them or use them with each other, I don't know if that's what you're asking. But like I said, I don't charge anything. Shoot me an email, info@vanhornmarketing.com, and just ask me whatever in-depth question, and, you know, I'll get around to responding within like 1 to 2 days. I promise I'll get back to you and give you my personal advice, and I'll help you the best I can. So let's see here, we're just over an hour. We got a lot of viewers still, but not many questions coming in now. I think I'm going to go ahead and end this unless you guys have any other questions. And I'll try to do in like another 3 or 4 days. I'm not going to wait another week to do a live stream. It just took me a week to do the second live stream because my dog swallowed a corn cob, and he's an English Mastiff, and he was puking and not, not passing any stool at all for many days. So literally after the live cast last week, I rushed him to the emergency vet, and he had to get his stomach cut open. He's 8 years old, and he had to get a surgery on his small intestines. And I actually pick him up tomorrow, here in about 12 hours from now. So he's been gone from me for almost a week now. So, but yeah, thank you everybody for participating in this week's chat. Like I said, I will do another chat. I'm gonna shoot for Wednesday, you guys. So I'll put out another video probably every day. That's what I'm trying to shoot for, at least 5 days a week. Put out a video about some type of credit. And I'm also going to be offering come March, but we're going to open up in February. So tomorrow we're going to open up. I don't know if we'll have the website open or not, but I'm going to be opening up a application for small business grants that I'm personally going to be giving away up to $5,000. So I haven't set the exact amount yet, but I'm shooting for $5,000, and I have a few sponsors that are also contributing. So a bulk of that money will come out of my personal business, Van Horn Marketing, and I'm not going to have any requirements as far as like traditional small business grants where you have to be already in business before COVID. That's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to help out the small guy that's just starting out. So I'll let you guys know more details about that once I get the application on the site set up for everybody to submit. So let's see here. I'll take a few more questions here. Tony Petty, what were your personal first 5 net 30 accounts? That's hard to answer because I have 4 companies, but I actually have 12 that I started since 2002, I believe, 2001 or 2002. So it's very hard. But I'd say like the last 2 years is when I really focused on business credit. So that's why I always say 4 companies that I have running. So Uline was one, and Quill. Strategic Office Supplies, Crown. Granger was one, but they stopped reporting, so just leave them alone. NavBoost is good, but that's more of a newer one. Really doesn't matter what my first 5 were, because what my first 5 were, even say my latest business that I started in, say, back in April. And that's addictioncentersdirectory.com. It's addiction network for drug rehabs. So that's the one that I got the biggest funding for, but it's the newest one. But my oldest business that's been around since 2009 does not have much business credit built up, but it's the most established. But I never really put too much effort into building up the business credit. I really wanted to use this as an experiment, and literally that's why, like, since April of last year, even the ones that I built up credit with, they change, and if I give you that same exact list, they may not be the same right now. And in fact, I know 2 of the 5 are not reporting anymore. So, but if you look at the videos that I just put out in the last, like, I would say 4 to 6 weeks, those are going to be pretty much 99% spot on who they report. That's what I break down on all my videos on who each company reports to. Not like a lot of these other guys online. They used to just say on YouTube, they'll put out a video and say they report to the business credit reporting agencies. Well, that doesn't really help you out, because if they just report to Creditsafe, it's a waste of money. So I break everything down on all my videos on who each vendor reports to. So, but I would say definitely go after Quell and Uline are definitely 2 strong ones. I'm getting a little slack about Shirtsy. I am a affiliate with them. I'm not just going to promote them um, just because I earn a kickback on people that sign up through my link. But they're good. I mean, I've ordered shirts with them. Actually, even for the Get Business Credit YouTube channel logo, I've got shirts. But a couple of people said that, they're crap. Um, but there's also a lot of good reviews. So, I mean, I guess you can't please everybody. But I have seen that they actually do report. So, um, let's see here. Invalid words. Do Amazon, Net 30, or Sam's Club report? Yeah, so Amazon doesn't have Net 30 that I'm aware of. They have Net 55. So that's what's nice about Amazon. I have Net 55 with Amazon. They do report to the Small Business Financial Exchange Network, and then Dun and Bradstreet or Experian or Equifax can pull that data. It's shared. There's controversy about once it's put out there with the Small Business Financial Exchange, which bureau will pull it. What I can say is Experian takes that data, as well as Sam's Club. Sam's Club is through Synchrony's Bank. Synchrony's Bank pulls directly through Experian and does report to Experian on the business side as well as the personal side. So, J&B Handy Services LLC. I get people saying email me all the time. I don't know what to email you about. Just shoot me an email. Like I said, info@vanhornmarketing.com. Any question you may have, and I'll get back to you. It could be I get back to you within a couple minutes, or could be a day or so. Crazy one. My business is 3 months old. I have all 3 scores. Will I qualify for a Sam's Club card? Sam's Club will pull your experience. So I would say you have to go in person for Sam's Club. Make sure that you make them aware that you want to do the no PG. Don't worry about getting them Sam's Club MasterCard, because that's going to likely require you to do a PG. Even though people are saying online that it's no PG, they're recently changing that. So don't hold your breath on that. Just try to get the Sam's Club regular store credit card. You'll get a decent limit with that. I would say as long as your Experian score is above 80, you should be able to get approved. As long as it's 80, and these are things you need to email me. Just send me an email, because I'm not going to put out public data points on Sam's Club too much. I don't want to speak too much, and say something that may offend somebody, or, put out anything that's 100% not accurate. So shoot me an email, but I can say application wise, you being 3 months old, technically you can't, qualify for that on technical standards, but it's how you fill out the application. That's all I'm going to say. But what matters is your scores. So email is info@vanhornmarketing.com. That's info@vanhorn marketing, marketing.com. All right, guys, I think that's it. If you guys don't have any other questions, I want to save some time for you guys to build up more questions. So make sure you jot down on your phone or pen and piece of paper questions for Wednesday is what I'm going to shoot for. What benefits do you get as certifying as a black or minority owned or woman owned? and I'll be honest with you about this topic. This topic, a lot. I have a Facebook channel and the Facebook group. I mean, most of my members are, black, urban, and that's fine. I mean, it surprised me that there's that many entrepreneurs, and I don't want to get into race, and I'm not racist by any means, but I'll tell you, um, it kind of disgusts me when there's like so much going around, like grants and loans only say for women or black owned businesses, or it's just unnecessary, and it makes more division, I think, in the country. It's, you know, I think history will show in about 20 years from now that all these big corporations that are jumping this bandwagon on trying to give back to, say, minority or black-owned businesses or women-owned business will backfire, because that's not really where the problem is. The problem is in the neighborhoods and education. That's what needs to be fixed. So I don't want to get off topic and get my political views at anything, but the problem won't just get fixed if you throw money at it. You need to put money into the system and education and teach. Just like credit, personal credit, for instance. I don't care if you're white, black, green, yellow. How come in school they never taught us anything about how important personal credit is? They don't teach you that because they want you to be in debt. They want you to make mistakes. That's how the system works. So you have to learn yourself. But I wish they would teach that. In high school, they would teach you about personal credit. It would make people more responsible, not have so many people in debt. But I mean, I would say, as far as, I'll answer your question, Pamela, though. I'm white, and my kids are mixed. My kids aren't pure white. I have 7 kids, and I tell you, 5 of my 7 kids are mixed, and I would say I don't know how you certify anything like that. I mean, my close, I don't want to say business partner, but soon to be business partner, he's from the Dominican Republic. In fact, I just want to let everybody know, please, I'm going to type it here. Please subscribe to his channel, because I think he's at 997 subscribers right before we started this chat. And he does kind of the same thing I do, but a little bit different style. But look him up, please, and subscribe to his channel. He just does reviews on his personal cards on what he got. I don't want to say I'm smarter than him. It's just a different level, different type, but still building business credit. In fact, I'm going to have him on the channel and do an interview with him about his Home Depot and Best Buy card, because he recently got those. I have one of those, but I got those back 2018, 2019. He just recently got them, so he can get better data points on those. But please head over to his page and subscribe. It's Business Credit Vertex, Wilbur Caminero. Definitely subscribe to his channel, please. Even if just 10 of you guys can just go over there and subscribe to help him get over 1,000 subscribers, because he pretty much started the same time I did. He's authentic like I am. But yeah, Pamela, like I said, it's a touchy subject with me about equality and race thing. I don't think there's a race issue as much as the media and stuff makes it being. I do think there's a problem with the government, though. I don't care what party you are in. I think there's a big problem on not developing enough, I would say, in the urban areas and the inner cities, white or black, it doesn't matter, low income. I think there's a big problem with that. There's an education gap, and that needs to be addressed. And unfortunately, I don't foresee anybody changing that because it's all part of the political game in America, sadly. So, but the good thing for tech is there's more and more kids being 15, 14 years old online, starting YouTube channels and making money. So it doesn't take too much education to do that. It just takes a little bit of knowledge and drive and effort. Yeah. All right, cool, Lawrence and Denville. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, guys. So if that's all, I'm gonna get off here for today. But I promise I'll do like a midweek. Like I said, I'll try to schedule it, but and give you guys at least 12-hour heads up. But yeah, like I'm shooting for Wednesday this week. Okay. But until then, you guys shoot me an email if you have any questions. Then I'll get back to you an email a little bit later today on the reports you sent over. Okay. Again, it's info@vanhornmarketing.com. Until next time, you guys take care, be safe, be healthy, and keep building that business credit. Love you guys. I'm out of here. Bye.